गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः. I have been given instructions that I have to speak on Gajendra Moksha, and Gajendra Moksha is a story which comes in Srimad Bhagavad, and the stories of the liberation of a great elephant whose name is Gajendra, who is even the lions and tigers and cheetahs, they are afraid of him because of his huge size. He moves around with a harem. You understand harem? Harem of more than 10,000, meaning infinite number of females following him, because he is the man among the elephants. He is the strongest, and if you understand among elephants that the males fight for each other to win the heart of the female. So he has won, and because of his size and because of his strength and because of his acumen of being the leader, he has maintained his position for many thousands of years, because we are talking about a different time scale here. And one day this Gajendra, he was moving along with his friends, along with his wives, along with his thousands of children, and they had come to a river, and at that river because being the head of the family, it is his job to chart out the path. It is his job to find out where the fruits and vegetables are, where the fresh leaves are, where the source of water is, and they do it all by smelling. They take their trunk up and they can, it's very intelligent. They say if an elephant sees you and if you have given him food or you have taken a thorn out of his leg because he was in pain or something, they will remember you for the rest of your life. That type of memory they have. That's why they say in English, elephantine memory. And this Gajendra, because he has lived for so many years, and he has the wisdom, he has the data at his fingertips of the various potholes, various freshwater sources. And probably at that time they were traveling somewhere, the entire gang, and for many days they had been walking, and he brought them to the source of fresh water. And he first went into the water and he came out and told, yes, this is the water, and the entire gang, everyone jumped into the water to drink and play. And once that was over, what do elephants do? No, the spray water, yes. But what elephants do is, once they get wet in the river or lake, they come out and then they roll on the soil, or they pick up the soil and they throw it on their skin. on their body or each other's body. And this is what our big Gajendra, who had the strength of 10,000 elephants put together, he did that because out of habit, or that is his nature. He did that, and everyone was about to, they have had their full. They enjoyed, they drank, they played, no? And they made the young ones teach how to swim, this, that, everything happened. And just when everyone was about to move away from the river, Gajendra, who had put all the mud on him, he thought, one more dip, and he goes into the water. And the moment he goes into the water, there is a huge, maybe dinosaur-like, he is also a dinosaur type, that is also a dinosaur type. A huge crocodile comes and catches him by the leg. And the moment he gets caught by the crocodile, naturally the teeth of the crocodile are very sharp. He screams in pain, but he is not a teeny weeny elephant. He has also got immense strength. He has more strength than crocodile, but there is a difference here. The problem is, he is on the land. He is a land animal. Crocodile is water animal. Crocodile is stronger when it is in water. Crocodile cannot move fast when he is on the land, isn't it? Similarly, elephant, he is fast when he is on the land, but in water, it is his mobility is not that much as on the land. So first we see here that the Gajendra, he is, how would you say, he is at a disadvantage with regards to environment, and therefore he fights because I am the king of the jungle. I am the boss of all these elephants. I am the father of so many children. I am the husband of so many wives. I have the strength of 10,000 elephants. I am undefeated by any other elephant for so many hundreds and thousands of years. All this data added up, what does it lead to? A big ego. Isn't it? I am the seer, I am the hearer, I am the toucher, I am the thinker, I am the doer, I got my job, I grew up, I studied, I achieved, I owned, I did the proper investment, I married because I selected the girl. Everything I, and the ego keeps growing. Huge ego. When that ego grows so much, it is not ready to ask for help. Because everything he has achieved it. No doubt he has achieved it on mere strength. And he doesn't ask. All the entire group, they are waiting on the banks of the river and they are watching this huge. They thought that he will just quickly, he will trample on that crocodile and come back and be with them. But here the crocodile is also not a teeny weeny one, and he holds on and he is pulling. And even though he is so strong, he is able to withstand the pull of the crocodile into the water. Not one day, not 1 week, not 1 month, not 1 year, not 100 years. Thousands of years he is able to hold himself from being pulled into the waters. Because once he goes into the water, it's over. But what is happening over the thousands of years is, inch by inch, the elephant is going deeper into the water. Inch by inch, tiny, tiny bit. Just like, how many? 2 centimeters or 3 centimeters every year, the earth is tilting on its axis. Something like that, they say. And that's why all these weather changes are taking place right now. Because the axis of the earth, which is North Pole and South Pole, physically it is seen the way it is, it's at that angle. But the magnetic South Pole and magnetic North Pole, they have already shifted. So the whole weather pattern is going crazy everywhere. See, you can see that in sometimes the wife goes crazy, sometimes the husband goes crazy, sometimes the children go crazy. So we are in a crazy world. Why you are smiling like that? Is it hitting? Is it hitting the truth? He's hitting. Is it? No. He was
also goes crazy.
But he smiled. He smiled very sophisticated. You smiled as something naughty there. Anyway, so as he's being pulled into the water, he cries out. All the elephants, what they do when they see that he's getting pulled into the river by the crocodile, have you seen how elephants walk around when they are going on a journey? Sometimes you'll see them all in groups, but otherwise each one holds on to the tail of the front one. Right? So what they did was, one elephant came, held the tail, another one put the trunk around his back leg, another one put around that leg, and they tried to pull him. And there is these thousands of elephants, each one pulling. The combined strength is trying to pull the Gajendra out of the water, but they are unsuccessful. See, Gajendra also means he is the Indra among the elephants. Indra means he is the strongest, he is the most intelligent one, he is the controller, he is the master of all of them. In that sense, also you can take the name Gajendra. And when all the efforts of all the elephants plus all the efforts of Gajendra have come to a naught, he is unable to do anything. He is holding on. But everyone is able to see, he is also able to see that he is being pulled into the water. And as he is going into the water, a moment in that journey of being pulled into the water comes where his whole body is in water, his face is in the water. He has pulled his trunk out just to keep the breath going so that he can maybe now the crocodile will get tired and I will be able to stomp away and get away from this crocodile. But he is not able to. And when he comes to realize that now the last moment of his life is coming, just like when in our life we all will, when the body is about to go, people come to know. Many people I have met, and many people we have read about, that they come to know sometimes 6 months in advance, sometimes 1 year in advance, sometimes few years in advance. Depends upon what is your growth within. Then you come to know few years in advance. Great masters, others, they come to know when their body is going to go. But common folk, those who are not having a spiritual bent or no sadhana has gone into in their life, then usually few weeks or few days or few months before they come to know, or few moments before the death also they come to know, now it is coming, now I have to go. Similarly and what happens at that time when the death comes, when you know this moment is coming? Calling God. I wish we must prepare for that. But majority of the people who have not prepared, what happens to them? The entire life flashes in front of their eyes. Entire life. It is the time of the reckoning. It is the time of the balance sheet. The Chitragupta is waiting. And who is Chitragupta? He is the accountant of Yamraj. He is waiting. Chalo bhai. Plus, minus. What is the last one? So we tell it as a story, but actually what happens is when the entire life flashes in front of your eyes, what are they? Memories. So which memory will be the last one that goes out of your mind and you, which is the last one? That which is the most intense, that event in your life where it may be love, it may be anger, it may be resentment, it may be hatred, it may be the divine name, it may be some imagination, depends upon each person. It may be you are thinking about your brother or your sister or your parents or someone whom you loved but you couldn't get together with them. But in your heart that love is there and you have never, parents got you and chalo bhai. So we don't realize right now, but when the last breath is coming, this whole flashback comes. And whatever is the most intense memory as a result of the merit demerit points that you have collected in life, good memories and bad memories, you don't know what is the net result of that. You don't know the net result. But at that time, there is a net result. And that result will tell you, will determine your next life, the soul's next life. Similarly, this Gajendra, the entire life is passing in front of his eyes, and he knows the next moment is coming. Now and at that moment, by the divine will, he must have done some punya, he must have done some merit. At last moment, he says, "Oh Lord, till now I have been trying to protect myself, I have been trying hard to be free from this crocodile, I have been trying hard, but I have not been successful. I never thought in the beginning that it is you who has given us life, it is you who has, it is your power which is functioning through me, and here I am saying that I have to protect myself, I have to protect myself." And in that moment, in that last moment, he, with the trunk is out of the water, from the bottom he sees the lotus flower, he picks up the lotus flower and he offers it to the Lord Narayana. You remember the prayer, Amma? Any idea? No. So it's I don't know, I didn't look at it. So he prays. If she finds it, we will chant it. And when he offers that prayer and he calls out Narayana with that prayer, Narayana Bhagwan, he is sitting and his wife is pressing his feet. I think he was eating food and he hears someone calling him. At that very moment, he leaves everything. Garuda automatically comes to know what is the desire of his master. He is already waiting. Gets onto the Garuda. Lakshmi ji says, "I am also coming." "Okay, you also come." All the three of them, they fly straight. How much time it takes? Blink of an eye. Instantly, he is there at the scene. Chum! Sudarshan Chakra goes and kills the crocodile and frees our Gajendra Maharaj. And that story depicts that in our life.
He was Indradyumna.
Indradyumna, okay. So what is the prayer?
Yeah, that mantra he remembered from his previous birth.
Ah.
Yeah, so that is what it is. So I'll pass it on to you. Om Namo, oh, Sri Gajendra Vacha.
No, the whole thing you are going to chant.
No,
not the whole thing.
If, first one.
Ah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai, sorry. Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Yat Etchidatmakam Purushaya Dhibijaya Pareshaya Vidhimahi. You change your page. Narayana.
No, I'm trying to make it big. Shri Gajendra Uvacha Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Yata Etat Chidatmakam Purushayadi Bijaya Pareshaya Bhidhimahi. The king of the elephant said, Gajendra said, I offer my respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Person Vasudeva, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, because of whom this material body acts due to the presence of spirit, and he is therefore the root cause of everyone. He is worshipable for such exalted persons as Brahma and Shiva, and he has entered the heart of every living being. Let me meditate upon him. And in just and the verses go on, but here we will just look at this one. And basically what he is remembering, as he said, that he is Indradumna from the previous incarnation, who is born as Gajendra, because all these gods, they are mischievous, and sometimes because they are, all the gods are also extroverted. Rakshasas are also extroverted, Devas are also extroverted, but they have something else which the Rakshasas don't have or Asuras don't have, and that is the love and devotion towards the Narayana. That is the difference. So all these Devas, whenever they forget Narayana like we do, then what happens in their life? Some obstacle comes, some difficulties come, and then we go through the misery, and then we do the prayers, this, that. So Indra has been, like for example, when he took advantage of Ahalya, not Ahalya, sorry, took advantage of Ahalya only, took advantage of Ahalya, Gautam Rishi cursed him because he was the husband of Ahalya. He cursed him. You are so lusty, may your body leak from 1,000 pores, meaning leprosy. And for thousands of years he was a leper. And then he ran to his Narayana, what do I do? Then Narayana told him, I cannot change the curse of Gautam Rishi. And when you do it for, he says, I cannot, Gautam Rishi says to him that I cannot take back my curse, but I can limit it for some time. And he gives it a limit because he asks for forgiveness. Similarly, and then if you know the story, while he was gone, because he was cursed by a rishi. So Indradumna also must have been cursed. That's why he became Gajendra. You see? So why we are born? Maybe. No, I say nice things. What curse? Yeah, no curse. Human birth is the only birth from which we can attain liberation. So don't aspire to be godly. Don't aspire to go to heavens. Because if you go to heavens, you will be thrown back. The moment your merit is over, you will be thrown back to the earth or to wherever, whatever is your last thought, that will fructify.
Even if we go to heaven.
Even if you go to heaven. Heaven is a temporary place. Heaven is a temporary place because based on, as long as the ego is there, ego does what? Collects merits, collects demerits. What do? If I go through 2 lights in Radhikananda's car, she'll get the bill. But if the police catches me, then the bill also I have to pay, and demerit points also, and if I do it enough times, I will be not able to drive in this thereafter for at least 1 year, isn't it? Till I get the points, some points back. The exactly same way. As the only one who does karma in life is the ego. And ego does not want to go to hell because it's afraid, so it wants to go to heaven. For going to heaven, it has to do good deeds. But when the balance of good deeds and bad deeds is positive, it is good deeds is the balance, then you go to heaven. For how long do you go to heaven? Depends. If the balance sheet says only, suppose there is 100 means full. So if you have done only 5 good deeds, so for 5 units you will be in heaven, after that you will be thrown out. You will not be allowed to stay there. If you have done 10, then for 10 years, suppose 10 years, okay, 5 years, 10 years, then for 10 years you are there, then you are thrown out. But where you will be thrown depends upon what was the penultimate thought. So if you have dogs at home, I don't know, dogs and cats, so, oh, my puppy, my Billu, my Rocky, and suddenly Rocky, you die. Next life, whoa, you will go to heaven, and because you are coming down from heaven, you will get a house where people forget the God and run after the dog. Exactly opposite, see?
Are you serious?
I'm talking about what scriptures are telling you. I'm not talking about out of my mind. This is what is the rule. Not story, this is the rule. These are the laws by which this whole creation functions.
So Swamiji.
So you will be born, people will be caring for you, they will make the bed for you, they will carry one plastic and go behind your bum. Come. Oh, I collect it. See, this is what is happening. So you are living a royal life. And that fellow who owns you thinks he owns you. He is living a hellish life. So this is the result of good merits. So many people have done good merits, but they were wrongly attached somewhere. So nowadays you see all the,
The bad merit dog become the street dog in India.
Bilkul, bad merit will take you to street dog. Yeah, so the laws under which this creation functions are perfect. And this is, you were asking me something?
Swamiji, I just wanted to ask, what will be the best thought we could think like?
Bhagwan's name. And why I am telling you this story is because there is another story. You must have heard of King Bharat. King Bharat, he gave up his kingdom to his son, and he went and chanted the name of the Lord for 10,000 years. And then towards the end of his life, one day he was meditating and suddenly he heard a roar of a lion or cheetah or whatever. And his eyes opened. And when he looked, he was in Nepal, Gandaki river is in front of him, and the female deer who got afraid because of the roar of the lion, she jumped over the river to escape from the lion. And in flight, out of the fear, she gave birth to a baby fawn. And that fawn fell in the water and is being carried away by the water. And Bharat Maharaj, he opens his eyes. Why did God make me open the eyes? Before I had never opened the eyes. This time, why did the eyes open? Maybe it is the Lord's wish that I go and rescue this fawn of baby deer. Because is it not that our duty that we have to help the fellow beings? Maybe it's the Lord's will. So he gets up, picks up the fawn, brings him to the ashram, to his kutia, and he's sitting there. Now this baby thing is just learning how to walk. Now what will he eat? So then he gets a cow, gets some milk. With his fingers, he's putting milk in his mouth because that child has not seen his mother. Now for that baby, Bharat Maharaj is father, mother, daughter, sister, everything. He is God for him. And he has got no attachment with anything except him. So he is giving him milk, he is taking care of him. As the baby fawn grows, then he starts collecting only the top part of the grass, which is soft. and he spends hours collecting it, and then with his hand he's feeding. Why? God opened my eyes to take care of the deer. After 10,000 years of meditation and doing the japa Om Namo Narayanaya. And then a point came, then the deer started eating his own food. But when he is meditating, where will the deer go? He comes like your dog. He comes, puts his face on his lap, and his one hand is going there. Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. Drama is going on. And one day, while he is chanting the name of the Lord, suddenly life is over. What was the last thought that came into his mind? After 10,000 years of chanting, not Om Namo Narayanaya. The last thought was, who will take care of my deer? Because his heart got stuck in him, because he was totally dependent on him. Who will take care of this? And the next life Bharat Maharaj got was of that of a deer. But the advantage that happened, because he has done so much tapasya, he has done so much japa, that as a deer, when he is born, his parents die, he finds himself in an ashram, and he remembers everything from his past. And he is, day in and day out, he is in an ashram, and he is listening to the Vedic chants, he is listening to the Satsang, he is listening to the Upanishads, wonderful, and sadhus, and he is the dear of everyone, and the head of the ashram, he is the favorite of him. He also feeds him, because next life maybe he will become dear. But he takes care, and he, because of his merit, he got a good place. Come on. You know, mom has a cat. Every satsang she comes and sits in the class. Every satsang, whether it is chanting class or it is Kathopanishad class or Gita class, she is there. She's got a special chair for herself. And she comes and sits there. If this morning chanting is going on, she'll come and just lie down in the middle of the thing. Now, where she was born? In a farm. She's a farm cat. In a farm. How? 200 kilometers away, near Mildura. Someone went there. Someone who was staying at us. They said, "Auntie, see what a beautiful kitten. Would you like one?" And she says, "What others are there?" He showed the 3 that were left. And she said, "Yeah, that one is good." She could have asked any other, but she said, "That one is good." And it came home. It came home. And wonderful life.
Yes, a good life.
Continuous satsang every day. Spoiled by everyone in the house. People don't come to visit us. They come, we want to, where is Bindi? Then they, Acha, Swamiji hai kya? Then they say, is Swamiji also there? First Bindi. Afterwards Swamiji. See? So that is all because of, this is the science behind this birth rebirth business.
What happened after that King Bharata?
I'll tell you. You are Padmaja, na?
Yes.
I was asking her about you.
Yes.
So, we have gone from the story, but okay, this is the point that we have to make. And then that deer, he listened to the satsang, his faculties are fully functional. Body is that of a deer, memory is perfect. Normally an animal cannot remember their past. Here this fellow is remembering everything. He is understanding everything. And as he has not studied in a Gurukul, what he did for 10,000 years? Only the japa of the Lord. So much purified. When purification reaches its acme, automatically knowledge comes to you. Don't try to seek knowledge. It will come to you. You prepare yourself. What is preparation? Have a pure mind. Perform actions without any expectation, purification will happen. Take the name of the Lord, purification will happen. And when that purification reaches a certain level within you, automatically a teacher comes, interest in the scriptures happen, capacity to not sleep in the class happens. All these things happen because interest has generated now. Before world was interesting, now something other than the world is interesting. What is the secret of life? This, so many people ask, but who are those people? Those are who have some pure, they are inquisitive of something greater, something higher. See? So same way, this deer, he is listening, he listens to the scriptures because mind is not corrupted with any thought, completely purified because of all the japa. Immediately, katak, just like you take a matchstick and light the camphor, immediately it catches fire. Same way, immediately the Upanishads, the scriptures that were being taught, the moment he listens, he is on fire. And as a result of that, his interest in the world starts reducing. And from morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner, maybe the sannyasis used to give him. Now he moved to, like me, only 2 meals a day. Then he moved to 1 meal a day. Then he moved to only nothing, only water. Then he moved to no water also. And slowly, consciously, he allowed the body to be wasted away. And when the body died, what is he contemplating upon? Is he contemplating on where's the next meal? Why I'm not? Well, it's such a nice fragrance of coffee and next coffee plant. Coffee plant. Life. Not like that. So he consciously is contemplating on the scriptures because he's there in the presence of the teacher, and consciously he has because this body of a deer is not conducive for liberation. Animals cannot liberate unless blessed by some Mahatma. In general, they cannot liberate. So liberation is possible. Gods cannot liberate. Animals cannot liberate. Plants cannot liberate. Gods cannot liberate. Which gods we are talking about? All the devatas. Which are the devatas? मेरे को तो सिर्फ शनि याद आते हैं. शनि महाराज, सूर्य महाराज, चंद्रदेव, अग्निदेव, वायुदेव, all the different gods that are, so many of them are there. 30, so they say 33 lakhs or something. I don't know.
Surya not included.
Huh? What is that?
Surya not included.
Huh?
Surya.
Say loudly, I can't hear.
Surya not included.
Surya not included? No, Surya Dev is also included.
No, because there are few
That's a different point because Surya Dev's boss is Indra. So Indra is also god of all gods. If he is not permanent,
no, I mean the central sun,
huh?
not the normal sun.
I don't know what you're talking. Which sun? Okay. So I don't know. We'll discuss later. So this deer, he wasted his body while contemplating on the consciousness that he is, what the truth is, and immediately he didn't want to go to heaven. There's no distraction. He doesn't want a good life. What happens in heaven? You know what happens in heaven? I'll tell you what happens. You don't get, first thing, all your desires are satisfied instantaneously. You don't get old. Wow. You don't get diseased. You have no difficulty of, no problem of hunger and thirst there. Everything, that is how the life out there is. And so many apsaras, angels taking care of you. That's why these terrorists are after.
It was on silence, but but we say.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. I thought someone called from there. Topic is going on. Huh? so this Bharat, who is now a deer, when he leaves his deer body, he is born as a human being. Is born as a human being. Because as a deer, he has learnt everything in the ashram, but he cannot gain liberation because of the animal body. Liberation is only possible through human body. He is born as Jada Bharata. And as Jada Bharata, he is born realized. Is born realized. Then how long is the body going to go? As long as its destiny is. So this is the theory of how one soul moves to the other. This is how Indradyumna, he was born again as Gajendra because of some curse, not because of some merit that he collected. When you go into lower yonis, it's usually because of some attachment, it is because of some curse, it is because of your forget, you don't, because you forget the divine, that's why you go into the undivine. In the animal kingdom, there is rarely any choice. Animals live on instincts, whereas human beings, they have a choice to choose to follow the dog or choose to follow God, other way around. So our Gajendra, when he calls out to the Lord immediately comes and saves him from the trouble. And if yet the moral of the story is that instead of solving the problems of your life, and who does not have problems in life? Who does not have challenges in life? Who does not have health issues in life? Who does not have financial issues? Oh, my daughter is not getting married. Swamiji, please come and bless. They give me one chapati and they want blessing. I said, I did not get married. If I had to give blessings, and you are asking me, who has not got married, to bless someone who wants to get married. Arre yaar. This is the joke of life. See? But sometimes it happens. What to do? So, whenever difficulties come in our life, whenever challenges come in our life, whenever we are down and under, which we are continuously down and under in Australia, continue to remember the Lord. Continue to remember the Lord. Don't focus on the difficulties. Difficulties will come anyway. You did not invite disease, it came. You did not invite accident, it happened. You did not invite cataract, it comes. For some it comes from birth. What can you do? Instead of thinking about it and getting troubled by it, I was in Newcastle this morning. So my friend is there, and one is a dentist and one is a pharmacist. Now he had 9 dentists working for him. All of them left. Now only he and his wife are there and got their 3 surgeries. What to do with 3 surgeries? No staff. And at the same time, our Paraminder, he has his entire front staff. One has gone to India, another one said, my father-in-law is sick, so I am resigning, and another one broke his leg, and suddenly only 2 staff is left on the floor. No chemist. Only one person who comes only 2 days, only half days. Rest of the time they have to work. Everything was going perfectly. Everything was fine. Salaries were being given. They are giving extra also. Staff is good. Chemists, the qualified chemists were coming and relieving him. Everything was good. Suddenly everything changed from one day to the next. And at that moment, the staff is not there. the house is being constructed, the daughter is pregnant, in 1 month the baby is going to be born, and this lady is pulling her hair. How do I handle everything? So where is our, and she's bad mouthing the staff who has left. I think they took advantage of me and this and that, because frustration. She's exhausted. I can see she's exhausted. But in that exhaustion, where is the attention going? How bad they are. They take advantage of us and we do so much for them. Whereas suddenly something is going wrong. She never used to speak like this. I never heard her speak like that. Always there to take care of everyone. But in that frustration, this is happening. But our Gajendra, in his frustration, at the last moment, he did not say how bad the crocodile are. Next life crocodile then. He thought about God. He thought about Narayana. Satchidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadi Hetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha Shri Narayanaya Vayam Namaha. Who is that Lord whom we should remember? He is the consciousness within. He is the master of the whole universe. He alone, through his Shakti, is manifesting as Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. And through his Shakti as the space, air, fire, water, earth. Through his Shakti as all the demigods. Through his Shakti as all the variety that you see in this creation is nothing but his expansion alone. And our attention must be on that. See? Our attention must be on that. So when he says, yeah, now the phone is closed, I can't read the verse. So in this way, this elephant, this Gajendra, he is remembering the Lord. And he did not remember the Lord objectively. What is objectively remembering the Lord? Going to the temple, paying $5, $10, $15, $20 to the pujari, to the manager, getting the coconut, getting the coconut with some akshata and flowers and kumkum and akshata, and you give it to the pujari, and he takes it and he gives it to the statue in the temple, and he chants the mantra so fast that you wonder, what did he say? You only catch the first one. Om Narayana, all over. And you feel that you have done a great devotion by getting up in the morning, taking shower. Elephant also took shower. Taking shower, dressing very nicely. But the whole approach was objective. If that priest, I'm being, it's not right, but I will say it. That priest, if he is chanting so many times the name of the Lord, he should be realized now. He should be God realized. How many priests you know who are God realized? How many of you have come across? They're chanting how many times, you feel, yeah, from outside you say, wow, the priest is chanting such a mantra every day, how lucky he is. And what is he thinking? Man, one more came, again, 108 times I have to chant. He's not taking that as an opportunity to surrender to the Lord. He's doing it as a job. He's doing it because he's going to get a salary for it. He's going to get dakshina for it. He's going to get income, which will be his source of survival. So true pujari is, one lady came to our house, comes to our house, she learned chanting with me. And one day she said, Swamiji, I learned doing puja from someone, and today I'm going to do my first one, please bless. I said, what blessing you want? No, whatever you want to bless. I said, okay, you told me, I asked you what blessing you want, you didn't want. Now, you listen what I say. You will not take dakshina for puja. You'll take whatever they give you. You take every puja as an opportunity to connect to the Lord. Not you are doing it for them. No, you are doing it for your upliftment. You are doing it for your involvement with the Lord. That if 10 pujas are there in a week, 10 times you are getting an opportunity which you would not have done if you are sitting at home alone. And 10 times you are going and spending 1 hour or 2 hours for doing the preparation of the Lord. Continuously keep doing your japa. When you are doing the puja, you know, asanam samarpayami, what is that? All the various steps, I forget. I know, but right now it's not coming. I only know Pushpam and Akshata to the end. I'll go backwards, then it will come. So what is that? Not asanam. Dhyayami, then avahayami means you remember the Lord, then you call the Lord, then you give him the seat, then you wash his feet, then you wash his hand, then you give him water to drink, then all the other various steps that come along. But each one is a opportunity to do the puja, to have a relationship with him. And if you are doing it really sincerely with devotion, while doing that puja, you will go into meditation. Like Ramakrishna Paramahams, like Gundavlekar Maharaj. There are so many Mahatmas, like our Belsare Maharaj. See? So, you want to do puja, you want to have a relationship with God, don't bring anyone in between. You do the puja. The reason we make the pujari do the puja because we are bloody damn lazy. We want to outsource. You do the puja, I'll get the benefit. It will not happen. It will not happen. So if you want to remember the Lord, you want to do the puja, do a short one, but you do it yourself. You chant the mantra yourself. If you don't know the mantras, just chant the name of the Lord. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. No other shloka required. Only Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. I offer you, I remember you. Om Gam Ganapataye, I invite you. Om Gam Ganapataye, I give you a seat. Om Gam Ganapataye, please come and have some water to drink. Om Gam Ganapataye, whichever God. But you do it yourself and see the transformation that comes about. Rather than outsourcing. Outsourcing is a lazy man's way of not taking responsibility. Gajendra did not say, hey, please pray on my behalf. He didn't say. He did not ask anyone to pray for him. You live your life, you think your thoughts, you have your experiences, so you do your own devotion. Why you are outsourcing it to a priest? And when that starts happening, you will start finding the temple not outside in Helensburgh or wherever. You'll find it in your heart. You close your eyes, the temple is there. You close your eyes, the Manasik Puja is going on. You understand Manasik Puja? The whole puja which is going on outside, if done in the right manner, after some time, it just transforms inside. It starts happening by itself inside. This morning I was there in someone's house and she said, Swamiji, please come for. I was staying somewhere else with someone. She came for satsang. She said, Swamiji, you come tomorrow morning. Can you come tomorrow morning? I said, kya khilayegi? Aloo ka paratha. So I had aloo paratha, but nothing comes free. Nothing comes free. So after aloo paratha, Swamiji will go for a walk. I said, if I say no, she said, oh, then we'll sit outside in the balcony in the sun. I said, I will not sit. Then the sun will go after some time. Beautiful day today in Lakelands, in Warner's Bay in Newcastle. And we went for a walk. And all questions are started, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. And what she revealed to me was that she is a Punjabi that continuously in her mind, Vahe Guru, Vahe Guru, Vahe Guru, Vahe Guru, Vahe Guru. This mantra is, even while she is talking to me, even whatever work she is doing, this mantra of the Punjabis is the Sikh religion, is continuously going on in her head. And she was asking for clarity about it. Now see how it is. And then because of that, some interpersonal relations were having challenges. Husband was saying, you are becoming antisocial. What can she do? She says, but I am not antisocial. I just don't feel like going. This is what will happen. Then if this starts happening to you and you don't feel like going to the temple, have you become less devoted to God? See? But the husband does not understand. Others don't understand why the wife has not come. What will he say? He says, you ask her. And she says, no, I just didn't feel, I got other things to do. She wants to be alone. She gets up at 2:30 in the morning and sits in meditation. Anytime. It wakes her up. She can't help it. And the husband is going crazy. But these things, because he does not understand what is happening. And she can only speak to someone who understands or who has gone through all that. See? Because you read scriptures, scriptures don't answer you why this is happening. Unless and until you read someone's life story, if they have put it in there, then you come to know. See? So, we as a human being, we make our life or we mar our life. We take it dogwards or we take it Godwards. We have the choice. And the Gajendra, it took, because of his stature in his society, elephant society, because of his stature, because of his success, because of his power, because of his control, because of his responsibility, all that had gone to his head. I always sit on the head of the table. Why? I am the head of the family. And if in that house I go and sit in their place, see what drama happens. So that ego, for all practical purposes in the world, yes, he is a self-made person, but he has forgotten where the strength has come from. He has forgotten where the power has come from where the intelligence, what is that prompter? Who is that which is prompting or sprouting the strength, the will, the intelligence? From where is it coming? For Gajendra, it took so many thousand years of willpower to, maybe this time I will protect myself, this time I will be able to kill and go away. This is addiction, Just like people go to slot machines. Next is going to give me and I will never come back again. How many people you have come across or read about who have lost everything? Isn't it? Same thing, addiction we are talking about. Addiction to ego is equal to addiction to slot machine, addiction to drugs, addiction to alcohol, addiction to relationships also. Then what should we be addicted to? We should be addicted to the Lord's name. Lord's name. And this Gajendra, at the right time, he had the magnanimity to let his ego drop. We can only say it happened because of his Purva Janma Sanskar. People like to say that, but I say it happened because of the Lord's grace. I don't give too much importance to Purva Janma Sanskar, because Purva Janma Sanskar, previous life samskaras, means ego is still kept intact, the doer is still intact. But when I say it is the Lord's wish that it happened, then there is no place for ego. Whatever when I explain to you how one life to the next life, all that is, yes, it is valid. It's a working theory. But when the purification happens, this working theory has got no meaning. As long as you are an individual, till then this theory works. But once the mind starts merging into the divine, when mind starts merging into the sleep, is there any prarabdha? Is there any destiny? Is there any body? Is there any relationships? In sleep you are nobody, isn't it? So destiny doesn't work on you that time. Relationships don't work that time. Hunger doesn't work that time. Nothing works because you are not the body also in sleep. Exactly the same thing when our mind is merged, is intoxicated by the divine. At that time, same condition is recreated. That you are unaware of your body, you are unaware of your surroundings, you are unaware of the health or ill health or whatever. The only pastime that for your mind, for you, is remembering the divine and wanting to be or desiring to be or praying to the Lord to be one with Him and surrender to Him. You cannot surrender. He will make you surrender. Surrender we can't. We can't go to sleep. We can prepare to go to sleep, but sleep takes us over, isn't it? Exactly the same. We can remember the Lord, but Lord absorbs us into Him as Him. This is the lesson that we learn from this Gajendra Moksha. Perfect timing, 1 hour over. So, if there is more, listen to my lectures on Gajendra Moksha in detail on the YouTube. We'll conclude here and enough अम्मा एक नाथ के लिए तो टाइम नहीं है फिर अभी ठीक है ना ओम पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति शांति शांतिः हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम. Just repeat after me. Om Namo Narayanaaya. 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 Just sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om. There will be class tomorrow at same time, and I think it will be our
7:30.
7:30 on Jnaneshwari. That will continue tomorrow. Hari Om.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om. Here you can look all the wonderful, beautiful ladies and say Hari Om to Mataji here. She's covering her face. No, they are there. Mataji.
Hari Om.
There's only
One corn.
one Krishna
One corn amongst the.
and all other gopis. Krishna, Balrama, all gopis. Chalo, take care.
Hari Om. Bye bye.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Pranam, Swami.
Pranam.